Baby, it's time for your show.
Oh, what time is it?
It's 7 o'clock.
Where's my bong? Hey, potheads, how you doing? It is Tuesday, November 14th, and you are tuned in to Marijuana Radio. I am KB, your host, and it's going to be a good show tonight. We've got Tony Van Pelt, the founder and president of Chronic Candy, and we'll also have in studio Mason Tvert, the executive director of Safer, who brought Amendment 44 to the ballot, which lost. Thus, we are smoking bowls for our dead homie, Amendment 44. So stick around.
Double D-O-G. Dead.
We're going to be listening to OPM with Roland. So, Paul, hit it.
Relax, now the lights get dim. The last thing I did before I slipped it in.
We're just rolling, we're just strolling, we're just moving to the next destination. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Mirror, mirror, mirror on my car. Tell me, who'll be the biggest of them all? Well, that be you and you be the B. Yeah, ain't letting the fools in the city know they can't get with me. I don't need no 6-4 cause they be played out. Give me a 5-round on the switches, baby, lay down.
Listen to the sound, what they gonna say when we mash up the town. Come on girl, just a little bit closer. Remember me from your opium poster. I see the stars in your eyes. Yeah, there's a party but we'd rather ride. So come with us cause you're invited. All nights we like been provided.
We're just rolling, we're just strolling, we're just grooving to the next destination. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Just dipping through the streets of Cali. We're just rolling, we're just strolling, we're just grooving to the next destination. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. It's just an everyday thing from OPM and me. I got that side to side, yo, the front to back. 15s in the trunk to let them know where I'm at. Some call me fat, some call me fatty, but on the one with 2 baller rolling in this caddy. Spinning on them true spokes, about to play big bang, take little bag with a pocket full of C notes.
Listen to the sound, what they gonna say when we mash up the town. Come on girl, just a little bit closer. Remember me from your opium poster. I see the stars in your eyes. Yeah, there's a party but we'd rather ride. So come with us cause you're invited. All nights we like been provided.
We're just rolling, we're just strolling, we're just grooving to the next destination. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Just dipping through the streets of Cali. We're just rolling, we're just strolling, we're just grooving to the next destination. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. It's just an everyday thing from OPM and me.
Southbound down the 101. Every day living life for fun. Right on till the break of dawn. Till the sun comes up or the wheels fall off. Make it bounce, make it hot, but don't ever stop. Drop top back in the Coupe de Ville. Heading for the sun in the
We're just rolling, we're just strolling, we're just grooving to the next destination. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Just dipping through the streets of Cali. We're just rolling, we're just strolling, we're just grooving to the next destination. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. It's just an everyday thing from OPM and me. We're just rolling, we're just strolling, we're just grooving to the next destination. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Just dipping through the streets of Cali. We're just rolling, we're just strolling, we're just grooving to the next destination. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. It's just an everyday thing from OPM and me. An everyday thing from OPM and me. An everyday thing from OPM and me.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for listening. That was OPM with Roland. So I'm KB, as you probably know, and Paul was about to chime in. Paul, the producer, is in front of me. How are you, Paul?
I'm good.
And Joe Z Fiend is to my left. How are you, buddy?
Hola. Howdy.
How was your week?
The week has been good.
Anybody have any interesting news about the week?
Last 4 days I haven't eaten any meat.
You're going vegan.
No, not vegan.
You're going Muslim.
No, vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Trying it out, yeah. I ate some really bad chili about 4 days ago and
Muslims eat meat, right?
turned myself into the R. Kelly chocolate factory and I didn't like it.
I thought we weren't going to bring your ass onto the show again this week.
No, that's not going to ever happen.
Hey, tonight's the first night we're going to actually be taking calls from people. And if you're listening, the number is 888-640-5899. That's the studio line, 888-640-5899. You can always call from 7 to 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time and chime in with your 2 cents. As far as the beg goes this week, I've sent 3 emails to Jack Black's publicist and followed every instruction. They're going to be in town tomorrow, so I'm counting on Joe to fucking bust right into their show and get Jack's number and then
Just going to pretend I'm his
Call
little
him directly.
I'm going to pretend I'm his little brother.
Because I'm sure he'll give his number out for sure to you.
Oh, totally.
just bust right in. You know,
that
walk
kind
in,
of,
walk in like you're important, man, and you know, step right up to him and tell him who you are. And
Like, hey,
Keep up with this because
JB,
I
I'm
think
kind of a
it's
big
worth
deal.
it.
Kind of a big deal.
a big deal, exactly.
In all honesty, people listen to the name Marijuana Radio, and it's enough to like book people.
Right.
They hear the name Josie Fiend and their panties get all moist.
Stone Zone doesn't have the same star pull, man. The star magnetism.
digging
I've never
on the
even heard of
Stone
that
Zone?
before. Stone
There-
Zone. What is that?
You
Tony-
mean you and no one has heard it before,
never
period.
heard
Oh,
it.
that's
Yeah.
funny. Tony, who's our first guest, I was talking to him today about what. Tony, what was the show you were talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. You talking to me?
Yeah, man. Hey, Tony, welcome to the show. Sorry, I should introduce you. This is Tony, the founder and president of Chronic Candy. Is that right?
Yeah, the manager, the owner.
Right on.
The owner of one of the coolest last names ever.
Van Pelt.
Mr. Van
Like Easy and Linus.
Yeah, you know, we had a quarterback. I think
Yeah.
the Broncos had a quarterback, Van Pelt, and
Dude, Linus in the Peanuts gang, their name is Van Pelt. He's Linus Van Pelt.
Hey, you know, I read an article, Tony, that said that was about Chronic Candy, and they mentioned Snoop, and they mentioned you, and it was something about the Peanuts gang that people like to, you know, hang their hat on. Is that true?
Well, no, I thought that was funny. I read that article just the other day, and they were saying that basically, you know, all the years that I've gone, just like a gimmick, I always used my last name was Montana. You know, people used to say, "Is that your real last name?" And I used to say, "Yeah,
Tony
Montana."
Tony Montana.
And so the time I used my real last name, she thought it was, you know, a hoax. She thought she even wrote there and said, "Couldn't you come up with something better?" And I thought, oh, that was pretty funny.
And that's your real last name.
Yeah.
So, hey, tell us, Chronic Candy is lollipops and what are the other? It's not gummy bears. What are the things with the sugar on them? Or
Yeah, those are the sticky icky buds. It's like a gummy candy, and we have 2 different flavors. We have the Chronic, it's like skunk bud, but tastes delicious, and then we have the Purple Kush. That's pretty new.
those are both sticky icky, like gummy.
Yes, sir.
I see.
Delicious.
And so Chronic Candy's been around for about 7 years. Is that true?
Absolutely.
And were you the first people to come out with a hemp flavored candy?
No, I can't take credit on that. Actually, hemp candy's been around since the 20s in this country. It's just that, you know, probably the first one that's taken so much heat on it, and, you know, we've been prosecuted, we've been indicted, and everything just for selling this candy. And,
Well,
you know, there's nothing illegal about it other than the taste or the concept or the
Because of
idea
what it's
about it.
called.
Yes, exactly.
That's insane.
Didn't you guys have a really big problem in New York?
Yes. Oh, New York, Chicago, Connecticut. We just got it's in the news today, as a matter of fact.
Today,
in Atlanta.
right.
You guys don't
Yeah.
even have any like THC in your candy, do you?
No, not at all.
Dude,
Then what the
Candy.
fuck's the problem then?
Because I've eaten about 75 of these things today, and I'm not feeling anything, Tony.
You have? Have you really?
No, it's a
should've
joke.
gone.
It's
I was
fucking
gonna say, give me
entertainment.
one. I'm gonna try one.
A sugar high. You should be bouncing off the street with
That's
the sugar,
right.
but you know, it's just a novelty with some sort. You know, and it's just like Snoop had said. It's just like if you smoke Chronic and you got the munchies or the cotton mouth, what's better if you're going to eat any candy? It might as well be Chronic candy, and that's our whole thing. Is, you know, there's 40 million pot smokers out there, and the average age is 40 plus. And you know, I'm one of those people, and I like candy, and so make it chronic candy.
Amen, brother. Amen. So you've got the Purple Kush, and then tell me all the different kinds of candy that you have.
Well, right now we have 5 different hard flavored candies. Those like a sweet flavor. We have the chronic, which is the original. We have strawberry cough, purple oracle. We have the White Widow, which is a real good top seller, and we also have the Buzz, which is the first energy lollipop. It works like Red Bull, but tastes like chronic. And then we have the 2 Icky Sticky Buzz. We used to have a chocolate tie.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't you have something chocolate?
Yes, it was just a problem with shipping and everything, because that's how we do a lot of our business through the internet. And sometimes, hot places like Texas or Florida, the time they got it was just like hash oil candy or something. So we discontinued that.
So if you get a lot of your business over the internet, we should mention your website, which is chroniccandy.com, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And then your MySpace page is myspace.com/
617-9733.
Oh, that's original. That's real catchy, dude.
The coolest design on MySpace, by the way.
They crushed it. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, Paul was commenting on, we are both privy to your upcoming MySpace page, which is one of the better ones online.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, thank you. It's a very good job.
I want to try this candy,
I
all
wanted
this talk about it, I want to try it.
Yeah.
I wanted to have some in studio, but we'll have it in next time.
Quite frankly, dude, I think this is a brilliant idea, and I hope you make a lot of money. And I'm going to start some kind of candy called heroin candy or something.
Crack candy. It'll sell really good in
Crack
Denver.
candy. Right.
I'm going to package it in needles. I want something to look like a syringe.
I think I tasted egg and cinnamon.
So how is business, Tony?
Oh, business is great. I can never complain. The thing is, every time the news comes around, it's just a boost. And
No press is bad press.
Yeah. And thank goodness they always do it right around Christmas. Although last year they shut us down. They came in, the FDA, and they put an embargo on all our candy for a whole month of December. So
how can they
Had
do that,
health
dude?
problems, or people were keeling over from eating your candy, or what the fuck? That's
I have
bullshit.
to say, and I'm knocking on wood, we haven't had any. Only problem that we always have, and it's just an easy thing that people attach to, is they say chronic candy. Oh, these yahoos are trying to sell this to influence our kids and
To
put
the
them on
kids.
drugs. And and I seen on the news report, if you go look, it's in Atlanta News, Fox, and they put on there, the guy goes, well, I don't know any kids. This is plainly for kids, because any adults that I know, that when they want weed, they're not going to turn to candy. They're just going to go buy real weed. And I'm thinking, so is a kid, if they really
if they really want to get high, I mean,
know?
it's not a brain science, I think
I
it's
don't
funny.
understand the enticing thing. I don't know.
We had this amendment in Colorado that we talked about before, and it lost, and I was extremely surprised. In fact, tonight we're smoking bowls to our dead homie, Amendment 44. And, there's
Real
just...
liberty, you mean? That's called real liberty when they don't legislate shit. You just do what you want and fuck the law.
I think that's a good idea, but
Paul's
sorry.
getting crazy.
what I meant to say was there's just people that are scared out there, Tony. You know what I mean? Just the mention of weed will send them running for the hills, or send them running towards you with a fucking pitchfork to stab you and kill you. You know what I mean?
That's the story of marijuana radio. They either run at you or run away from you.
Yeah. I think it's time for a change, and people say, well, you're influencing our kids. This is clearly, and I'm thinking, well, what's up Duels? Duels beer, what does that do? That's okay?
It's worse.
I compare it to like taking a kid to Hooters. It's like there's an innuendo of sex, but there's no real sex going on. And I mean, if I guarantee if I had a lollipop and it said chronic candy in my car or something, and like a kid was like, I want some candy, Daddy, and if there's no drugs in it, why not just give it to him? I mean, there's no big deal. There is the innuendo, and I'm sure that some parents are like, well, I don't want my kids picking up on drug lingo right away. But
it's not like there's
if it's
pot
good,
in it.
It's right. If there's no pot in it, it's like, it's seriously like taking your kids to Hooters or something. You're not taking your kids to a strip club, but I mean, there's still chicks with tits hanging
with
out.
big boobs all packaged in nice tight little
Twat. You almost said twat, dude.
Freudian slip over there.
All right, so Tony,
really uptight.
I got a question for you. If it tastes like hemp, it must be coming from what, a different part of the plant, or you?
Oh yeah, actually it is made with the hemp essential oils. It's imported from Germany, so I get it through customs. We use the hemp essential oils off the plant. So each piece actually Well, it's registered under law as 003, but there's no active ingredient. Although I must say my mom gets a buzz from it, but it doesn't
candy
do anything to
buzz.
me.
It's
I
because
smoke a lot,
it's candy that her son made, and she's just buzzed at your success. That's all.
Yeah. Thank you. You gave me a new one. Yeah, that's it.
she's
and
she's
so
buzzing with happiness for the success of her little boy.
Absolutely.
So what's your favorite method to how do you like to smoke, Tone?
Well, I'm leaning towards the vaporizers these days.
Oh.
I hope it's not a fad, but I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't
I'm
like it
into
at
it.
first. I didn't, I didn't like it at all at first, but I think it's a clean, good smoke. And then other than that, I'm just the old-fashioned joint rolling guy.
Really, you can roll a joint?
Yes, I don't do too many blunts. I got my partners here; they're stuck on the blunts. But I mean, I like to taste and enjoy my weed out here in California. So,
What part of California you at right now?
we're in Riverside, LA-ish area,
Right on. Sweet.
and so that's my methods of smoke these
The
days.
vaporizer is your preferred method right now.
Well, I got hooked on one. A buddy of mine from Scott Big gave me one, so I've just been using that, and I
What
like
kind
it.
you got?
What kind do you have? Yeah.
The Volcano.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, you got the big bag, so everybody can
Yeah.
get down on it. Sweet.
Yeah.
I've used that a
I
couple
mean-
of times. It's
I have a
interesting.
bizarre question.
Okay.
And Tony, I bet you nobody ever asked you before,
Okay.
but did anyone ever try to smoke your candy?
I'm gonna have to say yes. I can't say
Oh.
no, but I've experienced. I feel like everything, and that's why we always put don't smoke this or have to drink that. I
You
can
do?
imagine. Years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, we made this candy. We tried it here in the States, and what we use is that fake weed that you buy in back of High Times.
Yeah.
And we put it in a clear hemp-tasting lollipop. So it was like those. I don't know if you've ever seen those lollipops that had the worm in the middle.
Right. So, but it looked like it had a little bud in there.
Yeah, and and they really, I mean, I got arrested and everything in Chicago for that.
Oh,
And
my God.
I mean, they took my truck, they took all our supplies, and I said, I'm never going to use that again. But I always felt that people would always get down to the center and try to smoke that bud because it looked so real.
My buddy-
But we got rid of that candy.
My buddy Nate
was
said
trouble.
that the Chicago police are the worst gang in Chicago. Like that's the worst gang in Chicago.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, he
Oh,
said
I
they're
was
pretty
gonna-
brutal there.
I was going to tell you didn't have
Take
to
his
agree
word
with
for
that,
it.
Tony, but if you're into it, that's cool, brother.
Yeah.
So you're off to the cannabis cup, right?
Yes, sir. We're leaving Friday.
Friday.
be
So
great.
what's that like at the Cannabis Cup? I've been to Amsterdam. I think Paul's been to Amsterdam. Joe's not quite there yet, but I've never been there during the Cannabis Cup, and I it feels to me like a Alice in Wonderland experience where there's some insane shit happening, and it's all about going crazy, but it's all really just it's not real until you see it. But you've been there, and you go there every year, right?
Yes, yeah. I take the guys. We go on tour, and I always take like a little employee bonus. They get a trip to Amsterdam, and so we go. And the thing is, a lot of people that have been there other times, and I have too, but they say don't go during the Cannabis Cup because it's all geared towards tourists. They bike up the prices. They don't give you the real good weed, but it's a great time. And I mean, we have a great time. You get to see, a lot of different things, and they cater more to you that time, I believe, than any other time.
Are you a judge?
Yes, sir.
Right on.
Didn't you guys have a contest for somebody to win a trip to Amsterdam?
Yes, but we didn't.
Did anybody win?
No, we
Not
didn't do it. We didn't finish it up. We were giving away the trip, but then, then it came down to where you had to have all these legal laws and make sure that, if something happens to them, it's going to come back on us. And
So-
we
Really?
better get out of that.
So what you're saying is you have an extra ticket then?
Actually, this is no joke. A guy's coming to pick that up tonight. He's going to be our cameraman, and I thought,
I would have
Oh.
done that,
Thing.
dude.
Yeah. I paid for, and I just met this guy on MySpace, and I'm thinking, well, we're writing it up right now. Like, dude, you got to work.
Yeah.
This is a job. You're going to be there to film us there.
Yeah, right.
And,
yeah, I'd be
yeah, I
like,
hope
oh, yeah,
so.
Tony, sir, I'm
He's
into
gonna
it.
leave you guys right when he's gonna.
Is it the
jive you
same
dudes.
time of year every year?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I'd like to go
Always
next year.
Right before
wanna
Thanksgiving.
go.
Leave the
go.
wives
I
behind.
want to go this year.
Sorry, Tony, what were you saying?
No, I didn't say anything.
All right, cool. So is it do you probably have a different experience than most at the Cannabis Cup? I've seen some. you like to show pictures of you with famous people, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Quite a bit, and so I've looked at the photo galleries from Chronic Candy, and I see you in fields of pot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody gets to have that same experience when they go to the Cannabis Cup that you do. Do you feel like it's do you now that you've been around for 7 years in the business, do you feel like you have a different experience than most?
Is it getting old?
No, it can't get old. I mean, I have a great time. Now, let me say this, though. Those pictures that you see in the fields, that was right here in my homeland in California. That was my buddy Eddie Lepp's farm. And I mean, we even filmed a little movie there. And that was greater than going in Amsterdam. And just to bring that up, when we get back from Amsterdam, they're having something called Lake Amsterdam, which is going to be in the Humboldt area, and it's going to be the first annual Cannabis Cup here that they're throwing up there with all the growers up there. So we're going to leave Paradise and come home to hometown Paradise.
Put me on the list for that, man.
Yeah, Tony.
Hey, you already are. All you guys are invited. Come on with us.
Can you get us on the list? Me and Joe might make it out.
Sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
No joke, no. As a matter of fact, they even got a MySpace page. You got to check it out. And we're judges there. We have a booth. We're actually a little bit bigger. We're going to be a sponsor there. So that's why I am saying if you really guys want to come on down, I'm invited.
When is it?
LA all the time.
When is it?
It's going to be December 2nd, that whole weekend, and they're renting out. They got a hotel and everything. Everything's geared for right there.
We're gonna have the Cottonmouth Kings in studio on the 4th, so I won't be able to do it. You know what I mean?
Well, fly down on the 2nd and fly home.
Shit, if Marijuana Made any money instead of just ganja money, then maybe it would. We're not rolling like you, Tony. Shit.
No, I'm not. We're all in the same gang, but I'm saying, well, drive down. Denver from there is only like 12
I just did
hours.
it. I did
It's
it in a Saturn with 4 other people, and I'd have to say it was one of the most miserable drives, but I had a really good time. I passed out in Redondo Beach, like right on the beach. It was bad. Wonderful. I think I slept walk, too. I don't even know how I got there. I was really drunk.
That sounds like a good time.
I have a good time in L.A. I really do.
It was up north. Even a better time.
Nice.
Right, Humboldt's up north. Hey, so, yeah, absolutely. We'll go on the road sometime soon. We'll come out and see you. Maybe we'll tour your factory, or who knows. We'll hook up with you when we're in L.A. I think we're going to roll into our first break here, but, Tony, thanks for being on. It was definitely cool, and if you're listening, then by all means visit chroniccandy.com, and then you give us the MySpace address while we be quiet so everybody can write it down.
That's at MySpace/6179733.
Right on, and I'm sure everybody's seen Chronic Candy as a little friend on some of their friends' page. You got a shitload of friends.
So.
All right, Tony, you have a good time in Amsterdam. We'll check you when you get back, all right?
Thanks a lot, man.
Take care.
Take it easy.
Good to meet you, too, man.
Say hello to my little friend.
And we're back. There's this Chronic Candy. You know, it tastes like you're chewing on this. Well, you know, it's good. It's like candy, but it has like an aftertaste.
Tastes like I need a beer.
Like the stem. You know what I mean? Like hemp.
I haven't tried it. I haven't eaten it yet.
We'll get some in studio in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, you gotta hook it in.
Cool. All right. Well, we're gonna try to get a hold of Mason Tvert and bring him in studio. We're gonna go into our break with the Cottonmouth King, Skunk One. Paul, hit it.
Anybody need?
Cause I'm hate bait. I know this, seen it every time in every state. Yeah, we on the bumper bounce tip. Let it slip, hit the bat, better get a good grip. What's
Are you sick of the same old radio? Have you listened to Barefoot Radio?
It's so good, you can't hear it.
Go to barefootradio.com where the speech is free and you can hear Love 45. The band Love 45 live on Barefoot Radio.
Barefoot Radio isn't one of those basement podcasts. Barefootradio.com. Go there now.
BarefootRadio.com.
Tune in and find out what the fuss is about. Barefootradio.com.
Hello, I'm the Chronic.
And I'm Schwag.
So, Schwag, you want to smoke up?
Sure. Let me just open up my bag and, well, I have some seeding to do and there are these stems. What was that?
Well, I'm in a 420 jar. Can't you tell by the killer graphic on the outside or the 420 jar's logo on the bottom?
What's that amazing smell?
Oh, yeah, 420 jars seal airtight, so you can't smell me till you take the lid off.
Fuck you, Chronic.
That is awful swag.
With over 50 designs and sizes to fit every stash, there's a 420 jar for you. Do yourself a favor and visit 420jars.com today.
420jars.com. 420jars.com.
What's up, people? This is Daddy X from the Cottonmouth Kings, always blowing smoke rings, and I'm always tuned in to Marijuana Radio, especially when I'm in the mile-high Rocky Mountain state of Colorado, y'all.
You got it.
Marijuana Radio. We getting smoked out for real. Skunk wars in the chamber. It's the mind rearranger. It's the make a friend a stranger. Spin me changer. Miracle changer. Chica. Michael Lucas walked the blunt in the back of the car. We're rolling 5 deep to the neighborhood bar. Cops baseball now. We didn't get far. See red lights flash. Cops know who we are. Reputation built. Superstar but smokers. Compensating quotas for pulling us over once again. Let the routine kick in. Just dance in the dance. Let the games begin. Piggy waddles over with a shitty grin. But I'm cool as hurt. I ain't scared of him. In fact, I laugh. Cause Pac's still smoking. Got him up fast. Tap the glass but it's broken. Grab the handle quick and the door flies open. Smell bursts out.
What are you guys smoking?
Skunk wonders what we talking. Skunk wars in the chamber. It's the mind rearranger. It's the make a friend a stranger. Spin me changer. Miracle changer. Skunk wars in the chamber. It's the mind rearranger. It's the make a friend a stranger. Spin me changer. Miracle changer. Get some weed, I was running out quick. I had a couple of rips, left a little, that was it. My sack was getting low, had a little bit of dough. Need to go see my bro so I can get some more. Straight eating a purple that I got from Dirty Dirt. Give me a couple of pills and a Dragon Work shirt. Got a new ball, packed it up and hit it.
You like it, T-Lo?
I said, yeah, I'm with it. Then I went to the store, grabbed a pack of blunts. Went back to my house and I rolled them up. Sat on my couch, drank a beer and got stoned. Called his bitch on the phone that they really wanna bone. Now I'm all blown and I'm staring at the ceiling. The fans going round and round, I'm just illin'. Smoke so much Izzy that it got me chillin'. Y'all know the name, y'all know the feeling. Skunk wars in the chamber. It's the mind rearranger. It's the make a friend a stranger. Spin me changer, miracle changer. Skunk wars in the chamber. It's the mind rearranger. It's the make a friend a stranger. Spin me changer, miracle changer.
I need a drink quick, someone's in danger. 10 for the full of skunk, 1 in the chamber. Now let me explain exactly what's about to happen. It's gonna be yakking and probably be passing out. We're packing nothing but the pep and the pew. SKUNKFU. So if you got the misconception that we smoke the stress, then you should get a lesson like a bitch or a fuck. This ain't amateur hour, this is the ball show. If you didn't bring the weed, then you got to go. So if you got 8 ounces, come on down, that's contested. You're the next guest, test the best of any sessions. Clear D-Lo, B-Dub, and Big P. Daddy X and Luke, so you ain't winning, see. I don't sling shows, never did with strangers, but I always got a little skunk, 1 for the chamber.
Skunk wars in the chamber. It's the mind rearranger. It's the make a friend a stranger. Spin me changer, miracle changer. Skunk wars in the chamber. It's the mind rearranger. It's the make a friend a stranger. Spin me changer, miracle changer.
You're in the king zone now, smoked out on the real. Blueberry Kings blend strawberry field. You're in the king zone now, smoked out on the real. Take another hit, tell me how does it feel?
Hey, welcome back. We're back. All right, Pothead. So November 7th, last Tuesday, was election night, and I fucking lost my mind because Amendment 44 didn't pass. Amendment 44 would have made it legal for adults over 21 to carry up to an ounce of pot with them in Colorado, and we lost 60 to 40. And Nevada, I think, actually came closer than
45-55.
45-55. Right?
I got you beat again, dude.
I'm sure you do.
So tonight the plan is, first of all, I want to remind you, if you're listening, to call in at 1-888-640-5899. Also, we should probably pimp out our after show, which is not recorded. You can only hear it by tuning in live, where it's 7 o'clock at Mountain Standard Time. And So tonight we're waiting on Mason Tvert to get into studio.
Have you talked to him yet?
I spoke to him several times today, and he said he had an appointment at 7, so he's going to try to make it down right after that.
Smell this.
And so tonight we're going to smoke bowls to our dead homie, Amendment 44. I'm 100%. Oh, no, we got stoned one time on show, right? Before with a vaporizer in studio.
Take back your tobacco.
And so Paul and Joe are comparing.
It's just as good.
Paul and Joe are comparing Kind Bud strains in Colorado and
I
loading
think Joe's weed couldn't get a mouse high.
Here, why don't you pass it to me and let me make the fucking. You guys all both
Smell
have
this.
a vested interest
Smell
in
this.
it, right?
Smells out of there.
Honestly, this is
All right, hold on, here we go.
my weed.
Oh, jeez, that hurts. This is fucking.
I'm just holding this for somebody.
hold
This
it.
isn't even mine. This isn't even mine.
You're already making
I don't
Now, which
uh,
one's better? Which one's better, dude? Be honest.
Oh, without question, Paul's rocks your ass.
Yeah.
So we're
I
gonna
drive an hour away from Denver for that.
we're gonna load up Paul's pipe. No, let's load up Joe's and smoke it during.
Mine's
No.
loaded as well.
Oh, well, we're loaded.
Oh, here's Holly.
Hey, Holly.
Yeah.
Holly. Hey, thanks for calling in.
Hey, no problem.
So your name's Holly, and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from
Golden, Colorado?
Colorado.
Cool. So tonight the question of questions is, what's your favorite method, Holly?
My favorite method. Well, I'm a girl of all kinds.
Oh, no. That's,
scientific
I love
method.
to roll joints.
is that
I'm
your
a-
favorite?
I'm a cone roller.
Oh, word.
Really? Do you like to mix tobacco with your ganja?
No way.
At least you're an American cone roller. I tell you, you go to Amsterdam and they're gonna.
Oh, I know. They think we're stupid.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Amsterdam?
Oh, yes. I've been there over 5 times.
Over 5 times, so like 6 times?
I don't know how many times exactly, but I lived in Europe for almost 4 months.
Wow.
So
So you
visiting there was quite frequent.
and you travel by train?
Yes.
Have you ever been to the Cannabis Cup?
I have not. I have a few friends that live in Amsterdam, and they tell me not to go during Cannabis Cup, and
Don't do that, Joe. You
I'm going to just
fucker.
follow with them. The hotels go up triple.
Really?
Yeah, I stayed at a hotel that was $40 a night, and for Cannabis Cup it was $350.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was in the red light district.
When I stayed, it was about $40 or $50 a night. So, god damn that. Well, you know, they got to make their money somehow. And you figure they're gonna. There's no question about that.
Oh, for sure. Everybody's coming from all around the world.
So, did you vote for Amendment 44, Holly?
I did vote. I waited 3 hours.
Did you have any other agenda other than 44, or was a 44 about it?
I did. I voted for Dawn, the Libertarian.
Yeah, me too. She called me and left me a message on my phone that said she was the only candidate for Amendment 44. So the only votes that I cast were for Dawn and for 44.
I voted for a few other Democrats. I was trying to stay away from the Republicans. Kind of got a bad taste in my mouth about
Ouch.
that situation.
Joe,
If you're not a millionaire.
Joe, don't go there.
I'm not going to go there, but I do want to comment on Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi, who
Okay.
got brought into the picture. She's the Speaker of the
House
U.S.
now.
House of Representatives.
Right. All right.
What
She
about
is
her?
a really strong supporter of medical marijuana and marijuana in general.
Really?
What kind of panties do you think she wears?
Fucking Joe. Probably grandma panties. I mean, she's not a young woman.
Well, you never know. Maybe it's something I've never even heard of. She got something crazy going on.
Who, Nancy Pelosi?
Yeah. The politicians
She's
are...
got 3 kids, so maybe granny panties.
Granny panties.
Hey,
I'm
that's just
thinking.
proof that she likes to fuck, you know.
Joe. So the fuck bell goes off. Hey, so we're smoking bowls to our dead homie tonight, Amendment 44. Have you got a bowl loaded, Holly?
Oh, yeah, I got it in my double bub.
Right on. Well, why don't you take a hit for Amendment 44?
Take
and we'll listen.
All right, hold on one second.
Try to make it
okay?
really loud.
And sexy.
What's she smoking?
Water
with?
pipes are better for you. All right, here we go.
Sounds like my innards.
Hold on one second.
Okay. Do we have a bowl loaded in here?
If you're
No.
not coughing, you're not credible. Yeah.
That's for Amendment 44. Clear in the pipe.
Oh, that was a weak one.
Oh, well, you're welcome to
I lost
smoke.
my breath.
Lame.
You're welcome to smoke and smoke and smoke if you like.
That's all right. I'll just keep on hitting it.
Right
Until
on.
you cough, you're not credible.
Ah, don't say that.
Yeah, I think
Holly's
you're,
a
I think
good
you're
pothead.
5-0.
With some juicy blueberry.
Right on. Hey, Holly, we're going to take off and smoke bowls too, but thanks for calling in the show. I appreciate it. You're the first caller ever on Marijuana Radio.
All right, rock on.
Cool, be good.
Bye.
All right.
No, we've had a bunch of people on the phone, haven't we?
Oh, well, the first actual, she wasn't a guest. She was a caller.
I have a new question. I think it's better than the what's your favorite method.
What's your favorite method? What's the question?
I think if you could get high off smoking dog shit, would you?
Have you smoked crack this evening, Joe?
I don't know.
What's the deal?
No, I mean, I just think that
smoke dog
my
shit?
mom said she was
could
always
probably
like,
smoke dog shit, whether it does anything to you now.
No, listen to my
There's
theory
probably
on
dog
this.
shit within walking distance.
My excuse to my family when they ask, "Oh, it's natural. Would you smoke dog shit if it got you high?" And honestly, I probably would.
I would.
If it got you stoned?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Dude, if there's pot or dog shit, it's going to have to be a killer fucking high, trust me.
Yeah, true.
All right, who's smoking up for Amendment 44?
I'll go and take it.
All right, you're gonna go.
Yeah.
You're gonna call in on your cell phone and report from the door.
No, can't you just
the wireless mic doesn't work. Those batteries.
Oh no,
in
that's
my
why you're
drum
walking around with
string
the
are
phone.
dead. Yeah.
Well, chick. What? Oh.
No, I was gonna monitor on the phone, but it's useless because the wireless mic is dead.
Here,
So
give
now
me,
we're
give
not.
me your phone and I'll call in.
My phone died during the break, dude. So when we can't smoke in here, right? All right, so me and Paul are going to hold the fort while Joe fucking goes and takes a smoke, and we're going to take turns. Because, God damn it, if I was at a funeral for my
I don't have
beloved,
anything to smoke out of though. Nobody's giving me any pot.
Joe's got a
what are you talking about?
Paul's got a loaded bowl. Pot.
Where is that? I see a cash bowl. Oh, is that loaded?
Who are we listening to in the background, Paul?
It's called Last Laugh at the top.
Cool.
But now you're on here.
Oh, okay.
Go out
Cell
there with
phone.
that. And make sure you cough.
Hello.
All right,
Can you hear
Joe.
me?
Joe's
All right.
on. That's the high-tech remote
Telephone.
Exactly.
Give me your lighter.
Oh, lighter. Here we go.
Yeah.
And again, I can't get into exactly,
Right.
exactly how fucking sad I am that Amendment 44 didn't pass. I mean, I was a real optimist.
Stop your crying.
And you guys
Listen,
know,
man.
and our listeners know that I expected it to win.
We had an interesting discussion about this in the bar, and it had to do with the fact that if it were legalized, it may mean some other nightmares as a consequence of it for people who smoke. They'll legislate other things once it becomes legitimized.
Let's let Joe take a hit, and then we'll get back to your legitimate.
Oh,
Smoke
no.
it up, Joe.
I was
Okay,
thinking
hold on.
he'd have a better political opinion if he was smoking while we were talking about it, because it might inspire his mind to come up with the enlightened answer.
Okay, I got a better question, Joe. Would you smoke dog shit?
Yeah, to get high.
If it got me high, if it tastes, this tastes like kind of like dog shit, Paul's weed.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah,
so
right,
funny. That's some very, very kind. Take another hit and then come in here and there you go. Coughing. Right on. So you can expect that the show past this point might go into a foggy haze where we're talking like this and
Yeah,
what's
man.
up, man?
Hey, I see he's like double, triple dipping over there. You smoking up that whole fucking bowl, bastard?
Yeah. I thought
Sorry,
that's what I was
the
supposed
bastard
to do.
bell.
Okay, yeah, get really big
No,
then.
there's plenty left.
All right. That one was for
I
Amendment
see.
44. Not that you voted or anything.
Transitioning back to regular microphone.
Paul is going to be the next one to take it.
Yeah. Oh, damn, this sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
I could go do that.
There's like a lag.
You want to give me the phone?
Here, give Paul the phone.
No, you
Oh,
hung it
you
up,
hung
you
up,
bastard.
dumbass.
Well,
Fuck. Okay, so get him stoned. He
I'm
hangs
sorry I
up the
keep
phone.
calling you a bastard. I'm just like in a...
No, it's
ornery
all right.
mood.
Hey, if you're out there listening, whether it is November 14th and you're listening to us live or you're listening to us later, take a bowl, take a hit, take a bong, take a blunt, smoke a joint for Amendment 44 and everyone's effort this year to
That works.
legalize marijuana. It was a fucking valiant effort, and it didn't come to fruition. And
Fruition.
fruition, like that word. Fruition.
Yeah, thanks for within.
But maybe 2008. I was hoping that we'd speak to Mason Tvert,
Yeah, that'd be
who
nice.
actually just walked in studio.
All right, I'm going to switch spots now.
All right, Joe's going back to his cave. Paul is on his way to smoke. Are you with us, Paul? No, I can't hear you, Paul. But he's explaining that we can't hear him.
What? Why am I semen on the plate?
No, we can't hear you. Hey, Mason. What's up, man?
There you go.
There. Hello, Paul.
Now you can hear me.
Mason, we're smoking bowls to our dead homie Amendment 44.
You hear me now?
I can hear you now. Joe, are you with
I
us?
was saying that Joe got his semen on the pipe.
Oh, that's disgusting. Why do you guys... Joe talks about his ass. You talk about his jizz. What the fuck is going on?
My body is an interesting thing. It's a wonderland. That's what John.
Your body is a wonderland.
That's what John Mayer says. Anyway,
did you hit that, Paul Cephas? I think Paul's loading up a green bowl.
Yeah, Joe smoked it all.
No, I didn't. There was some.
No, I didn't. You didn't. I didn't. Whatever.
I love thumbing my nose to the law right in front of a stranger.
The
stranger. He's not a stranger. I've seen this guy on TV before.
I mean, like someone I never met before.
He looks cuter in person.
What a 12 first impression.
I think he's probably cool. I don't think he's 5'0".
No, I don't think so either.
Are you cop, sir?
No, he has it. You're welcome to come on in and get on mic if you want, Mason.
Yeah, hold on. I'll give him this one. Mine's not turned on in there, but I'll just give him this one.
Cool.
You can take this one.
Come on in, Mason.
Undercover 5-0 at Marijuana Radio.
Hey, man.
What's going on?
You look haggard, like you're working your way to get down here.
Just trying to make sure I got here on time.
Sorry about that, dude. So we are, for those of you listening, I want to welcome to the studio Mason Tvert, who's the executive director for Safer, and you might want to put those on, Mason, so you can hear
Colors.
Exactly. Hey, Mason.
Hey.
How are you?
Doing good.
So I have a list of questions, but it's fitting that you're here. We're in the midst of taking bowls for our dead homie, Amendment 44. Now, you're the motherfucker who brought Amendment 44 to the ballot.
So
is that right?
This is internet. You can say motherfucker?
You can say motherfucker. Yes. You want to bring Joe's mic up? Yes, you can say motherfucker here, Mason.
So you're the one who lost.
Oh, that's fucking harsh. I can't believe that's... Paul.
Honestly, maybe it's good.
No,
maybe
I'm actually
it's good.
the one who tried.
Paul's just jealous because Paul hasn't been on TV.
I swear to God, I said that only for comic value.
No, I definitely hear you.
So, why don't you tell us about Safer first? What is Safer, my friend?
Sure. Safer stands for Safer Alternative for Enjoyable Recreation. We're a Colorado-based nonprofit that is simply designed to educate the public about the fact that marijuana is overall less harmful to the user and society than alcohol. And we think adults should be allowed to make the safer choice to use marijuana instead of alcohol if that's what they prefer.
I think that that's probably a good thing. And you, many times I've heard you say something to the effect of if you go to the bar and you had the option to smoke pot instead of drink alcohol, I'm sure my wife would prefer that I not get shit-faced drunk and make my way home and smoke pot instead. I think that you probably got it right there, that alcohol is a safe, marijuana is a safer alternative to alcohol. But a lot of the people that were against us said, why add another vice to the mix instead,
Well, yeah, these are people who are extremists. I mean, they don't think that people should be able to use marijuana if they're sick and dying. They don't think people should be able to use marijuana if their doctor tells them to. They don't think people should be able to use marijuana if that's what they'd rather do rather than have a cocktail. What it comes down to, if you see what's connecting all this, is that they just are opposed to marijuana flat out.
In general.
It has nothing to do with whether people are using it in place of alcohol or not. These are generally people with either a personal or a vested business interest in keeping marijuana illegal. I mean,
like the campaign against marijuana production, like a camp.
And he's back here. You can't see him. You're like looking around. Where'd that fucking voice come from?
Yeah.
Right.
The campaign against marijuana production, I'm unfamiliar with
CAMP
that.
is the acronym. I guess it's
like the
war against
Budweiser and Marlboro.
Yeah, I don't want to be a buzzkill, but it's simply more or less a fact that these groups are not actively really working against this. I mean, don't get me wrong, their influence is involved. I mean, it's the National Beer Wholesalers Association, which is the largest liquor, beer, wine lobby in the country, gives more money to Republican congressional members than any other interest. I mean, people talk about big oil. They talk
really?
About,
every other interest?
Yeah. Oil, pharmaceuticals, all that stuff. It's the booze industry gives more to Republican congressional members. But are they actually like sending people out here to fight against us? No, they're not.
Never.
So, for those of you who are listening, I can't fathom that you don't know what Amendment 44 was, but it would have in essence said that adults 21 or over could possess up to an ounce of marijuana. It wouldn't necessarily made it legal to grow it or sell it or use it while you're driving your car, but that in essence was Amendment 44, and it lost 40 to 60. Here.
Yeah, it's going to end up with 41, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah, as soon as they're finished counting the Denver votes, it'll probably end. Which is really interesting because, I mean, what it shows is that there's more people in Colorado who prefer marijuana be legal than prefer Republican be the governor, which is...
Joe and I were talking that more people voted for Amendment 44 than fucking every other amendment. Is that true, or am I wrong?
Well, no. I mean, there's a couple that passed. I mean, you know...
I don't mean that they had a better turnout or they had a better result. I mean that the numbers of people that voted.
Not than the other initiatives. I mean, they were statewide, but yeah, I mean, you know, more than 550,000 people voted in favor of this,
which is a fucking huge ups. If you have like a clapping soundtrack, you should play it because it was fucking amazing. You know. I was really devastated when it lost. And
yeah, but there's not really a reason to be. I mean, to you know, that's the big message here is that this thing was as successful as it was planned to be. I mean, there's really obviously it would have been nice to win,
right.
Much like that was the case in Denver. That was a nice peripheral of winning. But even if it did win, I mean, the fact is to expect a whole 70+ year system of prohibition to just come crumbling down because one group of people voted for something. That's not what it's about. It's about a growing movement. I mean, this is now we see that 2 out of 5 people in the state support this. We see that there's actual discussion going on not only within the people but within the legislative bodies and within leadership and so on. And it's a movement. I mean, you know, they didn't just up and decide to end, you know, alcohol prohibition in a day. It took a process. Same with segregation, ending that, and civil rights and the gay rights movement. And if you look at every one of these social movements, they started as something that was perceived as a minority viewpoint. It was over the top. People said that, you know, black people and gay people who were fighting for their rights were over the top and too flagrant about it. And then ultimately, it kind of leveled off as the mainstream picked up on it and it became a little more normal. And then we have what we have today. I mean, obviously, gay people and black people are still getting the shaft, but the fact is that at least
gay people getting the shaft.
No, Joe Mason, you're a fucking comedian. All right.
Yeah, I'm about as gay as it gets while still being into chicks. But I certainly
I don't know how to take that, but
well, I'm just simply saying that. I mean, I have great friends who are gay. I'm if I wasn't working in this movement, I'd probably be working in the gay movement, or I'd be working in.
That's a bold statement.
In the pro-choice movement. I mean, I actually applied for jobs at NARAL back when I graduated from college. But regardless, back
to what we were talking about.
The fact of the matter is that every social movement that's ever occurred has been something that started small minority groups who thought their rights were being violated, tried to stand up, were very overboard, very hardcore, were perceived by the general public to be out there and way too offensive, way too over the top.
And they worked their way
and
into
then
the middle.
Well, people started, you know, the mainstream started to say, well, you know, they're over the top, but they make good points. It's kind of the difference between Malcolm X and the Black Panthers and Martin Luther King.
Right.
You know, you had these armed groups.
Militant,
exactly. And I would have to go ahead and say that that's what we are. I mean,
you're the militant arm of the marijuana movement.
Black Panthers of this shit, because what we're doing is we're the ones doing all sorts of crazy things that people are like, oh, well, you're hurting your chances of passing.
Give me an example.
Yeah, tell us some of the crazy things you did in this
campaign.
campaign.
I mean, like the whole scenario that erupted out at the Capitol with Governor Owens.
Right.
Were you there, Bruce?
I wasn't there.
Or did you go by KB?
Right.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. Cut that out. I wasn't there, but I had friends, and you were there.
Yeah. Well, that was probably the closest thing to a armed revolution that's ever occurred in the state of Colorado, other than maybe the
you guys had weapons?
No, but we had a lot of cops scared shitless. Right. And you know, if you take out, I mean, the immigration things were really impressive. So I won't try to say that this was anything compared to that. Those were thousands of people. We had 100, 150 people. But what it was a bunch of citizens, a bunch of civilians, kids, college students, old women. I mean, we had every type of person out there you can imagine. And these people were willing to stand up and yell and really go against the grain and call out not only our governor and our attorney general, but almost every sheriff in the state and a number of federal narcotics officers and so on. And that's a rare occasion. That
call them out? How do you mean call them out?
Like challenge them to an arm wrestle.
So put us there. What happened?
Well, they called a press conference on the steps of the Capitol. Generally, the purpose of that is to get news coverage. I mean, the governor is out there this was our opponent's one big effort to try to defeat this. I mean, they really came out on one day, massive organization, every possible opponent, the governor, the attorney general. I mean, to coordinate these types of figures in one place and one time is not easy.
So this was their...
Excuse
me for a second. Fuck you, Joe.
Well,
Quit fucking burping on the air.
I tried to do it away from the microphone, dude. I really did.
We don't think we're taking it any less seriously, right?
Sure.
This was their
that was
big
the sound
push.
The day you were there, people burping, right?
Yeah, well, if that had
this was their big push. Is that right?
This was them bringing everything they had in hopes of injecting into the media a lot of scary shit. I mean, if you look at the things that these people got up there and said, we had Governor Owens saying this is going to lead to an increase in car accidents and insurance rates, and you're going to lose your money, you're going to lose your kids' lives.
I have been smoking pot every day since before I had my driver's license, and I've never gotten in an accident because I was stoned and never even come close to it.
That's even beyond the point, though. We're not even suggesting that.
Yeah.
We're not even suggesting that it's less of a problem to drive high. We're simply saying that if someone wants to drive high, that's their fucking problem. Arrest them for it. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying that this discussion that we were having on Amendment 44 had nothing to do with driving.
Right.
But the fact is
Sorry to get off that point.
They came out with that. They came out with Sheriff Wagner from Park County, who became nationally more or less famous in the last few months with the school shooting that occurred in Bailey.
Right.
And this guy, recently had the opportunity to become buddy-buddy with the press through that. Obviously, it was tragic, but he tried, I don't even think it was him, but our opponents tried to use that school shooting against this. And it was really quite disgusting. He got up there clearly reading from a script, read off a thing saying that if you think someone using marijuana and getting into an accident or shooting themselves is unexpected, well, school shootings are unexpected too. And he tried to really bring up the Bailey school shooting.
Spin it. And use it.
Tie the two together.
And it was good that it was brought out in the media, that it was discussed. I had some comments about that, and the Rocky Mountain News covered those comments, as did a number of the other stations. And they really pointed out that, they are trying to use the tragic death of a young girl at a school shooting that had nothing to do with marijuana in an effort to make, to scare people into thinking.
Was she a pothead? How did they relate those two then?
Well, they simply said that the violence associated with marijuana was on par with what's going on.
It sounds like that movie Reefer Madness from 50 years ago or something.
37. Is that when they made that?
You can still spin it as a scary drug. Really, you have to be afraid of bad people who take it.
Certainly. It's really no different than alcohol.
So did you? I wanted to ask you. I have two questions. Your favorite moment in the campaign this year, and then what you might think that. Well, how about let's go that first, and then I'll get into fucking...
Sure. Favorite moment? I got to say, there's different levels. So like I said, obviously this thing with the governor, with this press conference, this was really the biggest showing I've ever seen in terms of people coming out and literally demonstrating and protesting against a body of law enforcement officials.
Right.
I've never seen anything like this, and it was really amazing to see that.
Make you feel good?
It
Get
did.
all jumped
it
up
did,
and pumped
but,
up?
Then there's people who criticized it, and we have to ask, was the message...
Let me ask you, could that negative press have contributed to losing that, you think?
No, number one is the press really wasn't super negative. The talk show hosts were slightly critical. The Rocky Mountain News story was really... The Denver Post didn't cover it. The Rocky Mountain News story was pretty solid. Most of the TV news stories were not bad. It was really kind of something that was talked about on talk shows and so on. But regardless... Why'd we
lose?
If anything, that would have been less than a point, maybe a point. Two bigger parts of where we lost points, and I will precede that by saying that we weren't going to get a majority to begin with. Those two things would be, number one, the suppression of the vote in Denver, possibly cost us 1 point.
The suppression of the vote in Denver, what does that mean?
Well, it means that the
fact that it was hard to vote.
Yeah, exactly. It was made hard to vote, and it was such a problem for people to vote that there were millions of people,
potheads in line.
I mean, I talked to at our party on election night. I talked to a number of people who waited 2-3 hours to vote, and obviously those are people who are also willing to come out to our thing. They were very heavy supporters,
hardcore, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas there was a number of people who might have come out just to vote and saw that it was a huge line left. And voter turnout this year was down as compared to 2002, the next most recent midterm election. So you look at it, and it's quite obvious that we did lose a lot of Denver voters. Now, what's interesting.
What was the other thing that you were going to say?
Well, the other thing would be the bigger thing, which would be the Blue Book.
Right.
Obviously, the Blue Book of the fiasco. I mean, that's what's so amazing about this is that the government literally sent a notice to every person in Colorado saying that this was going to make marijuana legal for kids, and we still got 41% of the vote. I mean, obviously that was not true. We were not making marijuana legal for kids.
You figure that there are millions of Republicans or right-sided people in Colorado who read every word of the Blue Book and voted fucking accordingly.
It wasn't. Well, number one is it's not necessarily Republicans. Number two is it's not necessarily even the people that read it. It's the fact that the press reads it. When the press puts up on their website or up on the TV screen or in the newspaper, they have a rundown of the initiatives and what they're going to do and not do. They use the Blue Book because that's the most supposedly the most impartial information on it. They're not going to call me, or they're not going to call our opponents, although they did just get it from our opponents.
Has anybody actually ever talked to any kids that are influenced by any of the stuff that's going on? I mean, it could be just like a myth. Like people are just making it up. No kids are really affected.
No. Well, that's certainly a large part of the discussion. I mean, what we see is our opponents come out and they try to suggest that in Alaska, that's the big thing that they always talk about. They say, Alaska legalized marijuana in 1975. Teen use went up so high. But what they don't mention, which is what I've been trying to get in there when they do say that, is that teen use went up in every single state in the country at the same time.
Yes. Right, exactly.
So,
and I heard that somewhere. You must have gotten that out because I heard it somewhere.
I get it out a lot. Yeah, I mean, and the other thing is, and this is something that was also funny, is they throw that out there, and I ask them to cite it because I know where it came from. It came from the University of Michigan's Monitoring the Future study, which, interestingly enough, began in 1975. So they say,
you have no pre-history.
Exactly. They're saying that it increased in Alaska, but they don't have a date before then to even compare it to.
So it could have been increasing at the same.
Maybe that's why my family lived in Alaska.
It could have been increasing at the same rate for 50 years before that, and you wouldn't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, the people know. I mean, it's well documented now that marijuana use per capita was at its peak in 1978, 1979, and was drastically increasing between the 60s and the late 70s. Right. I mean, this was fucking Jimmy Carter, I mean, this is...
peace, love, dope, dude.
Well, hey, Colorado decriminalized marijuana during this time.
Yeah, right.
That's why we only have a Class 2 petty offense, and what's really interesting is all we're trying to do, or what we're trying to do with Amendment 44, is the same thing the state legislature did, is simply change the fine. Well, they changed the fine from $500 or whatever it was to $50 or to $100. We just wanted to change it to $0.
Not necessarily. You weren't taking the fine to $0. You were making it legal, right? I mean, there's a difference between that.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, we were simply removing all penalties. I mean,
it wouldn't be truly legal because of the federal consequences from actually.
You're right. That's right, Joe. And we should talk about how we might figure that out federally. I have two questions. One, what's in the future? Are you staying in Colorado? Are you going to be with Safer and fight in 2008, or what's going? I mean, I'm sure I'm not the first person to ask, but I'm fucking interested.
No, you're not the first. We're planning on certainly. I mean,
roll it out on Marijuana Radio, man. Tell us what's going on.
Well, what needs to be understood is the precursor, which I guess we didn't get into after I described Safer, is that when I said that our mission is to educate people about the fact that marijuana is safer than alcohol, that is our mission. Our mission is not to pass an initiative or pass a law. Our initiative is to get a message out there and get people to hear it, so that way when laws do come around, they will pass them.
What does that mean then for the next 2 years?
Well, what it means is that, I mean, while Safer itself may not be spearheading a campaign in Colorado, I think groups like Sensible Colorado and I will be working closely on this as well. We'll likely see some sort of tax and regulation measures, whether it's something that gets referred through the legislature or something that's petitioned on the ballot. I really have little doubt there will be something on
the 2008
ballot. And I have very little doubt that this is something that will carry on for more than, I think this is going to be something that really starts to get hashed out in the next 5 to 10 years, if not sooner.
Cool, right on. And so we will definitely probably see something as far as support from SAFER in Colorado in the 2008 election, but we might not see a spearhead like it was.
My mug on the TV
or
all
we
the time.
might not see your mug. Is there some place that we might see your mug?
Well, yeah, I mean, we...
it's okay, you can tell us.
Well, no,
it's
SAFER
just us. I'm not telling anybody, brother.
Is really, like I said, designed to get this message out there. And what we've done in the last 2 years is we started at CU, CSU on campuses, college campuses, passing measures, and then Denver, and then a couple of colleges around the country, Florida State, University of Maryland, University of Texas, and now we had the statewide initiative. And now, this coming spring, we want to have, we're on par right now to have about 20... Excuse me.
Everybody burps, right? Fucking Joe.
Fettuccine for dinner.
Yeah. We'll have about 20 to 30, hopefully, of these things on school ballots around the country.
Really?
And the idea is generating media coverage of this message in all these different places. If it's picked up on, if the press is really into it, then you look into running city initiatives there, gauging that. I mean, like I said, SAFER is a media thing. It's not a law thing. It's not a legal thing.
It's go ahead, Joe.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, how do you feel about the people who think that drug talk should be pretty much stay out of schools? Like, schools just should be for learning. And
well, that's when you get kids who drink themselves to death. And
that's right. But I mean,
you don't see a lot of that. I mean, the drug is underground.
Don't you think that, I hate to associate it with drinking or whatever, but I mean, you get a lot of people on campus saying anti-drinking, and then you have another one that's saying pro-pot, but it's kind of a weird just middle ground. Like, how do you feel about people who associate them both together?
You bring up a good point in that. I mean, I've been compared to Carrie Nation on multiple times in print, which is insane. I mean, I'm trying to legalize marijuana, and I'm being referred to as someone from the temperance movement who tried to ban alcohol.
Yeah, right.
And
that's what I mean.
The fact is that we have never ever said that we want alcohol to be illegal. We fully respect adults' right to use alcohol. I use alcohol from time to time if I feel like it.
You're welcome to use alcohol actually right now if you're
I'm
thirsty.
Actually okay. I haven't eaten anything today, which is why Anyway, I will. What I would say to that is that we simply are defending the rights of adults to make a different choice, a safer choice. We're not saying that people should use marijuana instead of alcohol. We're just saying that they should be allowed to use marijuana.
Right.
Instead of alcohol.
If the choice was given, you could take it. Right. It's not. It's just your personal freedom. You want to make it easy for you.
Alcohol's not going anywhere. I mean, right now we got this jerk off Frank Rich. He's the editor of Modern Drunkard. He thinks he's really cool.
That's my dad, dude.
Yeah, right. They did a big story in Westward about me and him last year, and how he said he was going to mobilize the alcohol community. This is and he's like, I emailed my 5,000 person list saying to vote no, and I'm sure they all didn't listen to it because we don't really take our advice on voting on pot from people who sell liquor-based magazines, but this guy is convinced that we're trying to make alcohol illegal so that marijuana is the only thing available. And
that's because he's drunk, dude. He's just fucking drunk.
But he's not drunk. He's just ignorant, because all we're doing is we're not trying to he's literally saying it's okay to keep marijuana completely illegal so long as that alcohol is completely legal.
We have something to fuck us up.
Why can't we have marijuana be partially legal and alcohol partially or completely legal? I mean, why is it one or the other? He's not willing to open up, and we're willing to have both coexist and be legal.
Right.
He wants only alcohol.
Mason, you're always going to find assholes that are against
Certainly.
you. And you're like a hound dog for assholes that are against you.
We attract our own.
Exactly. So
do you know that I'm against it, Mason?
Shut up.
I'm against you, Mason.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
when one person tells me they're against it, it doesn't matter, because I talk to hundreds of people at a time.
There's people with very prominent
but
voices.
I'm like 1,000 people all in one.
You are monitoring the airwaves, so it's scary.
So I've heard you duck this question a lot. What's your favorite method to smoke? And you don't tell me
never
that
dodged anything.
Well, the answer that that rings in my head every time is, well, marijuana's not legal here, and then I don't have the choice to fucking.
You got to you got to keep in mind. I mean, that would be an answer that I'd want to see
that you put on television, right? And those. But this is marijuana radio, so you're among friends.
To tell you the truth, excuse me, I don't have a man.
Here. I've got some water.
I got some Maui Wowie.
Jesus Christ, man. Stop smoking.
Stop smoking. Mason, you've been puffing down since we got here.
I don't have a preferred method because I don't
That's
think
not
it's...
going to work either, man.
Well,
that won't.
well, I would say that'd be like saying, do you prefer to drink your alcohol out of shot glasses or bottles or cans? Or
Right.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, if you feel like having a beer, you drink out of a fucking bottle. If you feel like having a shot of whiskey, you drink out of a shot glass. I mean, I certainly
I'm
think...
tempted to let you leave that as your answer, but I don't think I'm going to.
No, I mean...
if you had your choice right now and there, boom, something's in front of you, would it be a joint? Would it be a bong?
I think joints are a little
Too Willie Nelson.
uneconomic.
Killing trees and shit. Yeah.
No, I don't.
We could
I
that
don't think
paper
there's
could be
any
used to
problem with
make
trees.
money.
I think it,
Damn
no.
it.
I mean in terms of how much marijuana you're putting into one sit down. I mean, if you got a group of people, yeah, you roll a joint, whatever. But when it comes to simply, I think that people should use as much marijuana as makes them feel better, and that's how I try to look
Who
at
filed the papers on this Amendment 44 thing to make it become a law? You have to get petitions, I assume, or something.
Yeah. We drafted.
You
the
did all
language.
that.
Yeah.
Can you help legalize polygamy?
There's a lot of people that
It's not a matter of
stance.
making it illegal. It's a matter of limiting enforcement.
I'm just gonna shut up.
Okay, so I still didn't hear how you fucking like the smoking you get.
I think, but I personally, I think, I would prefer to stick to.
Just say it.
To
Vaporize.
But I don't. I gotta say, I don't. If I were to consume marijuana, I really wouldn't use vaporizer every time.
I can't believe, Mason, that you don't. If you were to consume, is that what you just said, Mason?
If you
were to consume marijuana,
I think
the election's over, my friend. You got 2 years for this press right here to go away.
And I think that if people have any questions,
wait a minute,
have to ask if I use marijuana or not, just shows that how retarded they are. Not
you're
me.
afraid to just say that you do.
No, it's not a matter of being afraid because I really don't give a shit. If you go to pottv.net, you'll see pictures of me and Mark Emery taking 3-foot bong hits. The fact of the matter is that I don't see a point in discussing personal marijuana use. I just don't think it serves a purpose. I think people should do.
Smoked so much pot today, Mason.
I
smoked loads.
It's
marijuana
I think some people
smoke
radio.
too much pot. I think
and
people
I say,
should.
fuck the law. I don't care if the law tells me not to. I will smoke it, Mason.
Well, dude, I say fuck the law, and I actually try to change it. I mean, and
how much pot did you smoke today, Mason?
Actually, today I haven't smoked any. I've been pretty busy today.
And yesterday?
Yesterday,
he had a pretty big day at Home Depot.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna let you off the hook, man.
Hey, you don't have to let me off the hook. I'd be happy to talk about it.
You'd be happy to not talk about it.
Mason, we smoke so much pot.
Fantastic.
All the time.
Not me.
I'm going to smoke pot. Actually, we're going to go into our last song of the night. And when we get back, I'm going to smoke The Bowl for my dead homie Amendment 44. And we're going to wrap up the show. This song is The Individuals, Let a Thug Smoke. Paul, we ready?
Word, Hoss.
All right, cool. Peace. Be right back.
It's time to place your votes. And the winner is...
Hey, this is Daddy X from KOK. Mom, stop smoking all that crack.
Mind your motherfucking business and let a thug smoke. I don't wanna have to bust your motherfucking head. I don't wanna have to stand on the corner in the bushes and deal with the infrared. I don't wanna have to duck the feds. I don't wanna have to duck when I'm getting bread. I don't wanna have to fill your whole ass up with a head. I don't wanna have to see no popos. Motherfuckers always knocking at my door when I gotta have the fofo and the dough. Now I gotta go ahead and go smoke, cause my mind is going in the zone. Niggas see me coming, I'm ready through the home with the dirty clothes. The motherfucker gotta let me smoke, cause if I don't, gonna think my high just make blow. Let a thug smoke, let a thug smoke. Let a thug smoke, 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 let a thug smoke. This thug nigga draped in that black and gold, trying to blow something. Blow something. Pop a cap off a gala, I choke something. Choke something. Roll the bud up and smoke something. My nigga, he got all kinds of weed, therefore I'm blowing all kinds of trees. Hollin' at all dimes and D's, survivors like Beyonce. Tell him my idol was Tupac like fiancés. I'm married to this music, that's why I spit the truth like illusions. My visions be mellow, see yellow, the yellow fella flicking. Trying to get this fucking album off. Stop slipping. Sleeping on us, individuals. Meanwhile, smoking and getting residual. Let a thug smoke, let a thug smoke.
A nigga need to roll some weed instead of having beef. Cause my people out here on the street, well, you know they should be running the street. Stunting for the hoes that be wearing capri. I done had many thugs that done lost their life. All my little thugs come get built tonight. Cause a nigga like me just gotta be high. Penetrate through the wind when I'm riding by. And you know this weed gon' ease my pain. Cause a nigga out here in the dirty game. Most niggas don't know what they're fighting for. 50-50 it's a whole war pile of dough. And a nigga like me gon' smoke some Joe. Y'all niggas know how that shit go.
Let a thug smoke.
A nigga be quick to try to push your button. Doing even people sweet and so sudden. I'm tired of tough, I'm tired of buck, I'm tired of struggling. Tired of all this gangbang shit that kill me. Cause y'all niggas ain't feeling me. Y'all niggas be killing me with the bullshit that had me back blowing bees. Y'all niggas better go on before you get your bitch, big dumb bitch. Hit the weed and pass it and
let a thug smoke. 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 Let a thug smoke.
Pants dragging, I'm sagging, I ain't giving no fuck.
Yeah, I'm a thug.
I admit it. Running off at the mouth, not only talking but live it. I'ma get this shit in order, so they can spill it. And while they sprinkling, I'ma creep from the blind side. You think shit sweet?
That's what you get for thinking.
Hopelessly sinking, smoking and drinking, choking this sentence. Potency chemist, I'm cold with it.
Got you blown.
Listening close, like
what did that nigga say?
Got a style similar to Trigger Play.
I get the bus.
And you fucked up off any discussion I'm speaking. You get the tweaking and twitching, switching positions. This nigga
is something else.
Like other dimensions. I'm off into space. Got you lost and you caught in my trap. The effect from a
blood to the face. Let a thug smoke. 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 Let a thug smoke.
I'm on the block just trying to have paper for bail. Slang these rocks and pills, trying to stack mail. Fuck the bullshit, I got the full clip of dum-dums. Any nigga run no set trip, they get some. Lurk limbo, pop pistols, it's real simple. Fuck a demo, do this shit and rack a rental. 160, get swole like Bill Bixby. Slap box with niggas so my niggas
get with me. Fuck that.
Niggas buck blacks and whites. Don't get no fuck, just react so tight. Hear that Chevy Rumble. When they sit on them dubs, I slap the shit out of bitches. When I'm drinking in clubs,
let a thug smoke. 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 Let a thug smoke.
Never disrespect.
Let a thug smoke. Let a thug smoke. Let a thug smoke. Let a thug smoke. Let a thug smoke.
Yo, ma pull up my gun there, hear that sound. Pan the crunk, your body go phone. Blood, don't tweet, take up them gun. Hold the pint, I crush them bones. This may my gun them phones. In a you wanna blood them Joan. Fast you pick up these rounds. Yo, big gun, bust up in your head. Fast if I'm not this or that. Blood blend from A to Z. Now the miss that infrared. This may my crew go fled. Paint a corner in the red. Fast you pick up these rounds. Yo,
killer shit, nigga.
Yeah, nigga.
That's how it is. It's over with.
Yo.
Oh, welcome back to Marijuana Radio. Hey, we want to thank you for tuning in tonight. We want to thank Tony Van Pelt for being on the show, the founder and president of Chronic Candy. We also want to thank Mason Tvert for being in studio. The music you heard tonight was OPM with Roland, Cottonmouth Kings with Skunk One, and The Individuals with Let a Thug Smoke. I want to thank Paul, the producer, for being in studio, and Joe as well. I always want to say thanks to Barefoot Radio, our sister station, who without we wouldn't be here. Stick around for the
Barefoot Radio could legalize marijuana.
Yeah,
in Colorado.
Well, 2008 is a good time to do that. Hey, I'm going to work my way over to the door and take a hit for my dead homie Amendment 44. And can you hear
the phone? Talk, dude.
Can you hear me? I'm here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So
this is so ghetto fly.
Marijuana Radio is live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The only way you can call in is if you actually dial the number 888-640-5899 on Tuesdays from 7 to 8 p.m. Here goes my hit for my dead homie.
Don't I look better in the captain's chair? I mean, I should be here, really.
That's where you should be?
I really think I should.
Do you hear what he's saying?
No,
no, in the captain's chair.
Oh.
That's some good shit, Paul. Thanks for hooking me up, dude. And Marijuana Radio will not be on the air next Tuesday, but will return on November 28th. So we'll see you then. Paul, take us out.
This show is dedicated in ODB's memory. Just wanted to let everybody know that.
Smoking it up.
Peace.
Bogart this. Whoa. Ouch. I got it.
You gotta dedicate your show to ODB.
Are we out, Paul?
It is, I know.
No, we're still on air.
It's really fucking creepy, too.
Oh, we're still on air, right?
Yep.
Hello. Okay. So that's it. Don't.
It was a classic moment. I had to keep it going.
All right. Tune in on the 28th. We'll be live again. Peace. Be good.
Word.